But yeah, listen, this is a space for you if you are an artist of any medium. Songwriter, story writer, mime artist, gospel choir. I'm still trying for the gospel choir. One day I'm going to get one. If you are an actor, if you're a director, if you are a poet, a podcaster, whatever your art, it is welcome here on what we call BBC Upload. If you head to the website bbc.co.uk/upload, you'll from there make perfect sense what to do. Send us what you've made and you can be on this show. Just like my first uploader tonight, screenwriter Jazz Skingle from Colchester, who has told us a little bit about ghost therapy. It explores the ghost world and, more importantly, ghost problems through the insightful and unique view of a ghost therapist called Dr. Soul. We'll find out more about Dr. Soul in just a second. But before we talk to Jazz, let me play you this little treat.
Hello and welcome to Ghost Therapy. How do you move?
You should think about this. This is the big one. No! The distorted face wasn't working, so I thought I would go. Oh, look, I can fit you in next Thursday.
We might be able to fit you in next Thursday. You'll have to get in touch via email or DM on Instagram. But Jazz is with us tonight to have a chat. Jazz, it's lovely to have you back. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you very much. Edinburgh Fringe performer. That's quite exciting to be able to say. No matter how long you've been doing it or such. But Jazz, you're probably one of the youngest, are you not, screenwriters and performers at Edinburgh Fringe?
Definitely. So I'm only 18 and honestly, when I was flying on the mile, they were like, are you in it? I was like, no, I wrote and directed it. And they're like, how old are you? Or even when I did Meet the Media, they were like, sorry, you're 18. And I was like, yeah, but it's a good advantage. I sold it.
Why was it a good advantage? What was it you thought that helped you being that young, maybe compared to other performers or writers?
It's because there's so many shows. There was they had 4,000 shows this year. It was the biggest Fringe they've had in ages.
Wow.
I know. They look for little things that are unique and different. So when I'm pitching, I just say I'm an 18-year-old writer from Colchester, and that clicks with the media because it's something a bit different and something they can review and go to.
I mean, it's a very bold thing to do as well, if you don't mind me saying, Jazz. Now, I know we've spoken before because you've been on hashtag with us and such, but it is such an impressive thing for someone, you know, and I hate the way this sounds because it sounds so condescending, but someone, you know, of your age to try and do something that ambitious is great. First and foremost, everyone should try and do it, but it must be terrifying, even if you are confident in what you've written and kind of put together.
It was my first reviewer because these are people you don't know and people that will completely like demolish you if they don't like it. So I was so nervous for the first time, but I had lots of reviewers come in. I was really lucky with the amount of press and they all said like incredible things. My favorite quote was Dominic Core from Core Blimey that said, "This is Fringe." That for someone who's been to Fringe every year of their life, that was the biggest compliment I could ever get. So I was lucky. But having audiences of people, like I knew no one in the audience at any point in time, that's terrifying because you don't know how they're going to react. You don't know what they're going to pick up on. And what was really interesting is each audience liked different things.
Yeah. Because you performed twice a day for how long? From
the 5th to the 13th.
So that's quite a run of shows, isn't it?
It was the first week, for two. It's unusual to do 2 shows a day, but because we didn't do a full run, we were like, you know what, we'll go do it. And actually it benefited us because if people couldn't come to the morning show, they could come to the evening one.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, a couple of things I want to ask a bit more about is that, you know, you say about performing in front of complete strangers. Yeah. There is that sort of element of you have no idea how they're going to react. But surely there's something quite nice about knowing no one in that audience knows who you are. So they are coming in with maybe no expectations either way. You know, they've got no preconceived ideas of who you are, of who any of you within the, you know, Ghost Therapy show is. So they don't, like, you know, go imagine if you're an established comic or actor and you go, people can have a look up on YouTube and they can already, they go, oh, okay, I know this person's a bit of a tomfoolery kind of person, or this one's a very quirky kind of comedy person, or this one's a very deadpan straight actor. You know, so maybe the unknown is the advantage.
It was really nice when there were families that would come in and be like, we had no idea what we were expecting, and we really enjoyed it. And I was like, that's the most rewarding thing, like you say, when people who you don't know, they have no connection to you, no reason to be nice to you, compliment your show.
Yeah.
That was the first show when I had feedback from the audience. I recorded some like clips of them for feedback from it, and it was just the nicest thing. And I recorded this little girl, and there was a bit of audience interaction in my show, and she says, rate me 5 stars on Ghost Advisor, and then this little girl 10,000 stars, just from these children who haven't seen much theatre, which was quite a unique selling point for me. To reviewers like Ed Fringe reviews did Ghost Therapy as a recommended show, so the unknown was scarier for me, personally. Reward was bigger. The reward was bigger.
And by the way, Jazz is making none of this up, because we do actually have one of the reviews.
Funny, amusing, well written, and what a wonderful cast. They all do brilliantly.
See, not making it up. That was genuine review from Ghost Therapy. I mean, as far as feedback is concerned, is that something as a writer, as a performer maybe as well, that you try to make sure you do get some immediate feedback from an audience? 100%. Because that's... And what do you do with that feedback? How does that help you?
So when I was writing Ghost Therapy, especially as a comedy, you don't know what's funny to you and what's funny to other people as well.
Yeah.
So when I was writing it, my friend's dad wrote for Doctor Who, so I sent him the script and he gave me feedback so I could change it. And that process is so important. And even when I was directing it, because the Ghost Therapy previewed in Colchester for the Colchester Fringe last year.
Yep.
Last year.
More on that in a bit.
So I had seen it for a whole year. So I brought in a small group of my friends to come and watch it for another preview, because I'd seen it so many times. I was like, I don't know what's funny anymore. I know what line is coming. I know the puns now. I need someone to come and register it. Even after each performance, I tweaked things in the script, because there were things the audiences weren't quite reacting to, and I was like, this can replace this and this can fix that. And even now I'm rewriting it and extending it.
Oh, is that not dangerous territory? Because as you said, every audience different, and whilst
things like timing more, not the script itself, the way the audience, like the actors present themselves,
the direction probably more than the content.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes the timing needs to treat, and it's like, I don't know, but I want to extend the script because I want to do a longer theatre run of it, and that has come from feedback from the reviewers. They like, my one note from the reviewers was build the ghost world more.
Yeah.
So I think if I extend the script, I want to do a longer theatre run of it. I was having like conversations with Norwich Theatre and trying to get it there.
Well, that preempts my next question, to be honest with you, Jazz. Was next 2 questions actually was, are you going to have this performed anywhere else, as Ghost Therapy exists today, and maybe what was on stage in Edinburgh? Mm-hmm. So is that going to be anywhere else for people to see, first and foremost?
Yeah. So from Fringe, actually, I got invited by Sweet Productions to perform in the Brighton Horror Fest.
Oh, nice.
15th, 16th. Yeah, so Ghost Therapy will appear in October this year again. And then I want to adapt it into a television series as well, pilot episode. And longer theatre production. So Ghost Therapy will return, 100%.
And so you're thinking longer form theatre piece, built from what you already have, but then also write it for TV. Yeah,
I think it would do really well for a family-friendly show, comedy, a pilot episode of it. I can imagine it as that, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to do writer's room for television.
Yeah.
So I think if I can try and sell it as an original IP, it would work really well.
Jazz, I cannot thank you enough for letting us know, that you were off there. And we knew you were off to Edinburgh. And, when we ever hear anyone going off to do these huge things. And when we talked about Chelmsford Fringe, the very first Chelmsford Fringe happened earlier this year. We were lucky enough to be there for the opening night for the comedy at A Canteen. There was 10 days of theatre, music, comedy, and so much more. Some free, some paid for. We know it came out of the Fringe family. And I use that word because I think when I was talking to Luis about Chelmsford, he said that there's upwards of 250 Fringe festivals in the world now.
Wow.
And they're all based on that same premise of bringing artists of all disciplines together, which I guess, and I'm not trying to piggyback, please don't think I am, in a small way, that's sort of what we want Upload to feel like, is sort of a weekly kind of get together where we can bring screenwriters, script writers, podcasters, poets, conductors and composers, whatever your art is, together to just showcase what you do. But Jaz, one final thing I'll ask of you, if that's okay, before you go, is if there are any young screenwriters, script writers, directors, even performers who are trying to get themselves noticed or seen, what would you sort of say to them?
I'd say take any opportunity that comes towards you that you might not even be connected with it might be in your industry, but not specifically what you want to do, because you will meet people that can help you. And if you do get like feedback and it is negative, that's just people trying to help you. Don't get knocked down by that. Just keep pushing with it. Especially in this industry, you've got to be quite forceful with it. So trust what you've got, but take feedback, I'd say.
Jaz, it's lovely to have you back on BBC Upload. Thanks so much for letting us know about it. And I look forward to hearing and seeing more of this extended version of Ghost Therapy. And maybe even a TV pilot in the very near future as well. You just don't know. Jaz, it's lovely to see you. See you soon. Night.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a lovely night.